Hello and Labis. We are here with the Payne family in the Ultimate Decades Challenge. And we're starting with the main family today. Some things are going to be just a little bit different, like Dovile's outfits, because due to the recent bugs that probably everybody knows about, the reason why we've had the two emergency patch updates. There were some interesting and unique things that happened, so I had to go back to a previous save playthrough for some days, and so I couldn't remember exactly Dovile's outfits, and I decided to just give her some different ones anyways. So that was one thing that has changed, is that some of them look a little bit different if I had to give them a makeover. Also, sorry that it was only a decade in review on Monday and not a full episode. That decade in review took a lot longer to finish than I was expecting. And so basically, I just didn't have time to do both, especially not with all of the issues that we've been having with the game lately. But, these things happen, and what can we do? What can we do? That's just life. Oh, additionally, I saw that I was asked by a number of people for the sort of like idea for the Wixie trades. So I've added those to my amended rules document. They should be right after the life and death section, I think. But this year, it's going to be an exciting year because 3 Sims are going to get married this year. As we know, Gree is making her way to London with the knight who came for her and her illegitimate royal children. We'll catch up with her maybe later today, but definitely tonight. So Esmond is up for marriage this year, and he will be getting married to Heidi, his lady love. Has he forgotten her? He'd done it again, and I had to go and redo everything, and I was like, oh my goodness. So their relationship is now approximately the same as it was previously. Although he does think she's basic looking. But they are soulmates. But they lost their sentiments. They're actually now girlfriend-boyfriend as well. We haven't done the proposal yet because I thought maybe everyone would want to see that. Maybe not, I don't know. But I thought, just in case. Can't remember what I queued you to do, my friend. Okay, fair enough. Oh, thanks, Huxley. What a gem. What a gem you are. So he is up for marriage. Gree is going to be married off by the king. He wants her to get married, get settled, and I think that he views it as a form of protection for her, and so he wants that to happen sooner rather than later. And so it's going to. Also, she's getting close to her young adult role. She's like getting on there in years. And then Aiken II was born a day after Esmond was. And Aiken II is up for marriage this year as well. So pretty exciting. 3 weddings. So yeah, we're just here. Although I guess there's a few things we have to do to set them up for later. So first things first, are Vulcus and Danielis going to go on a raid? Second thing, it's 1320, which means it's another tallage year, so we're going to have to calculate that. And I haven't checked the price of our house lately, but I have a feeling we're about to lose a lot of money again. And then I think that we're going to harvest today because I saw that there's been some issues with gardening that have popped back up again since the recent patches. And that's exciting. It's exciting that we get that opportunity to experience those. It had been a while since we'd seen them, so we might go ahead and harvest today just to make sure everything is fine. Of course, in 1320, the bovine pestilence is still going on as far as I understand, but we're lucky and our cow survived, and I'm not going to look a gift cow in the mouth, We had a run of good luck, a run of bad luck, and so I'm happy for us to have a run of good luck again, if that's where we are. So first things first, are Vulcus and Danielis going to go on a raid? So if you don't remember, heads means that they go and tails means that they stay. So I guess we'll do Danielis first since he's older. He's not going, and is Vulcus going on raid this year? Vulcus is, and I don't know that it's necessarily a raid, but there's definitely a big battle that happens in 1320. So we'll talk about that when we check in to see if they're going to make it. Esmond, I know you're in a bad mood, but you're gonna come out here and do this anyways, my friend. Next, Tallage. We have to check the cost of our holding and then roll a d6. The first one doesn't count. And so we got 4, which means we'll be paying 40% of our holding. I think that's what we paid last time. So our lot has depreciated. So it's 40,996. So it was those plants. I knew it. So it looks like we're about to lose just over half of our money, which is okay. We're sitting on quite a lot of money here, I think, in these nectar bottles. Oh, yikes. Attacked by bees, just like his dad. So the tallage that we owe is 40% of our holding, and that came out to 16,398 simoleons. So we will have 15,614 left over. Bye, money. Bye. Now, in the year 1320, some things are going on that are going to have long-term consequences for the shape of England and how things go in the future. But I kind of reached a point where I was done looking into it and decided I didn't care to go any further into it. So if you are interested, there are a lot of other YouTube videos and articles and all kinds of things about this topic. But basically, this is the point at which Hugh Despenser the Younger really becomes a prominent part of English history. So the long story short version is Hugh Despenser the Younger in 1320 or thereabouts became Edward II's new favorite, replacing the hold that Piers had originally had. And there were some others along the way that Edward was close to, but at this point, Hugh is essentially the main guy. Now, the issue with Hugh Despenser is that while a lot of people had disliked Piers, Piers was kind of just along for a good ride or a good time. He was just like having fun. He wasn't really like upsetting the balance of power. He wasn't really challenging that much except for by being the favorite. Whereas Hugh Despenser is really out to get as much as he possibly can. So, for example, a lot of people note that, for example, with Isabella, while she had eventually learned to be able to work with Piers Gaveston, she did not have the same relationship with Hugh Despenser. She couldn't work with him. She really disliked him. He was despised by quite a lot of people, actually. And so this puts a lot of conflict between Edward and everyone. A ton of people really disliked Despenser the Younger in particular. He's called that because his father was called Hugh Despenser as well, and he's referred to as the Older. Basically, there was a conflict of law, and there was some land in Wales that was up for sale. Despenser wanted it. There were kind of underhanded, but also legally correct ways that it was handed basically off to Despenser, and that kicked off a conflict with men who had been previously loyal to Edward, including Roger Mortimer, who's noted specifically because he's going to end up having a large part in the future of England. But basically, Roger Mortimer turned against Edward. He'd been loyal until this point. He marched on London with the intention of forcing the king to exile Despenser, which of course Edward didn't want to do. Can we see a pattern with Edward currently? And also Edward couldn't really do without losing face. Isabella went out of her way to provide sort of an opportunity for him to be able to exile Despenser without losing face, which he did once that opportunity was provided to him. And that stopped the conflict at that point in time, but it becomes sort of the basis for a conflict that's going to end up changing how the rest of Edward's reign goes. There's a lot of other details you can go into. There's a whole Despenser War, but I really got to the point that I was just done with learning about Hugh Despenser. So if you want to look at it, there's a lot of stuff available. Just go out there and you'll find it pretty easily. Go out there on the interweb. These guys are just kind of like having a super chill night. Like, it's really nice. I wish that Esmond wasn't so tired, but I don't know what we can do about it. So this is just kind of where he's at the moment. Oh my gosh, look at all these cherries. Dang, dude. That's blueberries. Okay, good. I was like, that's not a cherry. But yeah, it seems like everyone's pretty tired. Esmond's already down for the night. Devile's pretty exhausted. So I think that we will leave these guys here and we will catch each other in the morning once everything is ready to go. So as you could see, we are here with Gree, and she has learned that Ernan has died. And she's upset about it. She is. But I was looking at their relationship when I was playing to catch up to where we were. And I thought it was really interesting because her and Ernan had a really strange relationship, I think, by the time that we got to them. Hey, did you say no? This kid, does she or does she not look exactly like Gree? What's this? I thought we were gonna play, bud. So basically, when I checked on Gree and Ernan, are you playing or? Okay. When I checked on Gree and Ernan, it was really interesting because all of the sort of romantic stuff sort of came from his side. Like, he had all of the wants to hold her hands or ask her to be his girlfriend. He had the smitten and utterly enamored traits towards her. Whereas, like, she was just a lot more friendly with him. She was like, oh, he's an life-saving hero from that time that he saved her life. Are you guys gonna play or what? This play animation seems to be problematic today. And so it was interesting because I think that how I interpreted it anyways is that, can we help her with this bad attitude? Oh, yes, calm down. How I interpreted it was basically that Gree had a childhood crush on him, I think. He was like the first older boy who took an interest in her. He was so different from everyone else that she knew and that she was surrounded with. And so I think that she was kind of like awed by him and also, you know, had that first kind of crush feeling. But I think as she grew older, she kind of just grew out of it. It wasn't that she like didn't love him anymore. It's just that she wasn't in love with him. It was more of, you know, a platonic thing on her end instead of what he wanted it to be. And so I think that, you know, the last night that they spent together, Ernan was like desperately in love with her, and he definitely wanted to explore a relationship with her. He wanted to ask her to be his girlfriend. He had sort of the ring above his head when he was thinking about marriage with her. And I think that she was scared that he wouldn't make it back, which we know now that he didn't. And so she didn't want to, you know, say anything at that point in time about how her feelings might be a little bit more platonic than his because she wanted him to go off feeling positive. But I don't think that even if he had made it back, that they would have ended up together because, well, I don't think her heart was really in it towards the end. I think she like I said, I think that she loved him, but I don't think she was in love with him. And that's a pretty big difference to have. However, when I moved Gree here, because this is where the night Oswin Jacobson brought her when he came to get her from the cabin for the king. Basically, when I brought her here to meet Kennard again, they had almost an immediate reaction to each other. Let's see. They kind of did this on their own. I thought it was doomed because they had bad compatibility, but he perceives her as very attractive, and he got a crush on her, and she feels deeply connected to him, but also finds him extremely attractive, or she did earlier. Oh, very attractive. And she also had a sentiment of something else towards him, but I can't remember what it is now. But as you can see, he like sees her and he immediately gets flirty. And so he has a lot more feelings towards her as well. Oh my goodness. Eleanor? Ugh. Oh, I guess she's not misbehaving. So yeah, he has a lot of feelings towards her, and their relationship was just very easy, you know? They just sort of immediately got along with each other. And they built their romance super duper fast. Like it's pretty high. It's like all the way up there. And they did that almost autonomously. So Gree is currently with child, with Aaron's child. Um, and I don't know if Kennard knows. I know that he knows that these children are the king's. I mean, that's obvious, but it's not a secret or anything. But I don't know. Well, they haven't slept together yet, him and Gree. So he obviously, when she goes into labor and starts showing, I'm sure he's going to notice and know that it's not his. But I don't really think he's somebody who's going to be mad about it because he's kind of an interesting guy. If you don't remember, when Aaron kidnapped Gree, she was traveling with a knight to meet Edward, and it was actually Kennard, this guy. And if you didn't notice, Aaron was actually a really bad spellcaster. He was cursed so that his spells often failed, and he like often wasn't very successful with his spells. And so I don't think that he meant to hurt anybody, but when he cast that spell against Kennard to freeze him, I think that he did some long-term damage. And you can kind of see it because if we have a good look at his face, we can see he kind of, well, he's not looking like your average sim. I think that he lost sight in his eye. He has one really bad eye. He got a few scars along the way when he was cracked out of the ice. He's sort of like his skin has aged prematurely from being in that. And in addition, he's always cold and often has to wear extra layers just to sort of like accept the temperature, even when it's not cold to other people. He's the second youngest in a house of lesser nobles. Oops, too close. And he's kind of just a nice, kind guy. Like fate dealt him a pretty bad hand, but he's kind of just taken it on the chin. He gets along not so much with Eleanor, but with Adam pretty well. He comes from a big family that he's really close to. And I think that overall, Gree, do you mind making some food for everyone? Maybe a meal, a proper meal? Maybe a pheasant? And, you know, he's just kind of like a nice guy, you know? He's a nice guy who cares about people and he cares about Gree and he wants to sort of like make sure everyone's happy. Does that mean somebody made a mess? Yep, probably. And so even though he's going to be living this life where Gree has brought all of these children from previous flings and stuff, I don't think he's going to mind. And I think that he cares, enough about her that it's not really a factor. Also, as the second youngest from a house of lesser nobles, he already probably had poor marriage prospects by comparison to his older brothers. And then in addition, with sort of the toll that being cursed took on him, I feel like a lot of women would be scared off by that. I don't think that Gree is scared off by that. I don't think she much sees that. And in fact, she's often found people who are a little bit different to be more attractive. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem for them, but I think that it might be something he's insecure about, maybe something he doesn't feel confident in himself about. And so that might also contribute. Also, he's a knight, so you know, the king tells you you have to marry someone. I don't think you have much room to say no. Why don't you have a serving? You're not hungry. How are you doing, buddy? How are you doing? Why don't you ask him? Oh, sing a song with him. That's cute. Blow kiss. Maybe you can babble a little bit. But this is the new Gree. She is older and hopefully wiser. Hopefully wiser, although she's still a bit of a wild child. Oh my goodness, Gree, you are too much. Look at that face. But yeah, she's a bit of a wild child, always has been, always will be, but she's maturing. She's taking care of her two children. She's got nicer clothes now, and we're about to go do their wedding. So I'll see you when we get there. Weddings are so bugged. Just kidding. We'll see you when we get there now. Really? So ignore those two sitting on the ground. Oh, I guess they got married. That was it. So I guess we'll do the spouse weddings in this game are so bad. I mean, I've had some good ones, but this one was pretty terrible. But just so that everyone knows, here we've got Edward and Isabel. Oh no, this is Kennard's mother. She's sitting nearby Edward, who's also sitting next to Ava. And then we've got our kiddos, and we've got some locals. But okay, I guess we'll do the spousal kiss since nothing else really went right. Okay, don't be so pleased about it, Kennard. Nice and not working. Hello. Spousal kiss, please. Oh, nope, not gonna work. Okay, cool, cool. Then let us send up two Sims. Kennard, you will escort your wife. And out they go. Oh my gosh, why is Edward sitting on the ground? Here we go. Gree and Kennard leaving together. Oh, precious. Okay, and now we'll turn autonomy back on. Normally that helps, but this time it really did. What can you do? What can you do? Okay, would you mind please serving an assortment? Gree, would you mind having everyone just sort of like gather for toasts? Yes, that's the one. No, don't worry about that. Okay, and then we will go ahead and time to eat, everyone. Yep, go ahead and put her down. Put her down, Gree. Thank you. What is this? Oh, cute. What is this? Now I know this is a big lot, so that's probably contributing to the issues it's having with running, but, you know, it'd be nice if it didn't. Okay, maybe we can have the king. I guess not. We'll have Erdwulf, your father, give a toast. I was gonna ask the king to do it, but I guess that's a no-no. Oh, Eleanor. Wedding kiss. That's interesting. I didn't see it and I was pretty close, but okay, whatever. Wow, this is a perfect wedding. No flaws. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. At least this part's going okay. Then maybe we can just have a speech. Maybe we can ask the, not your brother. Maybe we can ask the king for a speech. Oh, he's actually giving his speech and I'm missing it. Because he's giving it kind of an odd way, like to the, I guess to the commoners below, he's giving the speech. Wow, to the commoners below looking up at this noble family wedding, he's saying, you know, she was a commoner too. She was just a serf girl, but she met people along the way who helped her, and now look at her. I would have invited our family, but I don't think that they would have made it in time. Oh, Edward gave a bad speech. Well, you know, it happens. So let's all just chit-chat. Don't worry about that table there, my friend. Some wild stuff going on at this wedding. Well, it's 5 o'clock, and I think that's getting on pretty late. Also, yes, okay, we'll make a donation to charity. Also, this wedding's been a little bit chaotic, so I'm not sure how much is going to make it through in the end, but we'll call that done, just so that we can make a move on out of here. Also, the kids are getting really tired, so... Gree, go ahead and, like, put that in your inventory. The less we have to cook when we're with you, the better, honestly. Okay, we're out of here. Out of here, out of here. Actually, Edward, you can come back if you want to. Then maybe you can hang out with your children. All right, so we are all now Jacobsons since we've married Kennard. Okay, let's just get these kids to bed because they're kind of wild right now. I think that... What are you doing? Throwing a tantrum? Well, kind of tracks for you. Why don't you ask her a bedtime story from your dad? He actually knows how to read, unlike Gree. Gree's just gonna be looking at the pictures and guessing her way through. So I think Gree is, you know, I don't know. I think that she is thankful to Edward because she's been raised a lot in station, which a lot of people in the comments said that they thought would have been the case. And, you know, she has a pretty nice life here. And she also quite likes her new husband as well, which probably doesn't hurt. But it is customary that they... sorry, Edward, I think there was a misunderstanding. You were supposed to go. But yeah, I think that it is customary to consummate the marriage, and so that's what they are going to do with each other. And we might leave this part here. I don't know how long it's been because it's been kind of chaotic, but we might leave that here for now. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope that you like the turn that this has taken for Gree and her new husband. And we will get back to the spellcaster story when it's a little bit more appropriate, but for now, thank you, and have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.